We're live and I'm ready to fucking talk my heart out. There's a lot of resolutions that I'm going to be doing this year, and one of them is to just shut the fuck up with my brain and show up authentically. I don't know how many times I just try to say, hey guys, welcome back to Dark Diaries, but it makes me want to cringe and punch myself in the face. I am chilling out. I'm showing y'all my authentic self like I told y'all, and we're figuring out things together. Something new that I've been doing lately that I want to let people know because TikTok is going bye-bye is I have started a YouTube. Not only with just this podcast, but I'm slowly starting to get into vlogs. Holy fuck. They're a lot harder to film than what I thought. I thought I was going to use my Canon for vlogging and for my podcast. And yeah, it was only used pretty much for my podcast because I figured out very quickly that using a professional camera with vlogging is very fucking hard and the audio sounds like shit unless you have one of these. And I'm not going out in the street like, what's up, mister? What's up? Hey, I respect the people who do that. That's just not my content. But I've been using my iPhone actually, and if you guys check it out, the quality is actually not bad. I actually filmed a cinematic video as well, one of them, because I have this idea, and I think I've kind of like drifted away from it, but I have this idea of making short clips and writing poetry over them, because when I was younger, I was very, very, very much into writing poetry and expressing myself that way, and then it kind of got lost along the way. But I've been thinking about that, and then it kind of went like, maybe not tell everyone everything. Like, I already tell you guys a shitload of stuff, but maybe some of the poetry stuff that I'm really fucking spilling my heart out in, that I could keep that to myself, at least for right now. So that's one of the ideas that I've had, as well as having to take more pictures for Instagram, which then in turn led me to think, well, I don't really like pictures that much. I don't fucking know why. Why is that? And then the next thing I know, I'm looking at myself in the mirror and I'm like analyzing the living shit out of myself, which I can't help. I have to do it to everyone. And then I started thinking, I need to tell people how I do it to other people, because I feel like a lot of people, especially if they know me, are like, how the fuck does she know that? Or not even like on an intelligence level. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying like, people have played me over and I'm like, yeah, there's just something about you, dude. Or when people are like, oh my God, I love them. And I'm like, I could sniff it. Sniff that motherfucker from all the way over here. And people are very confused by that. And I was raised by a very philosophical, mentally stimulated mother who was going to make the fuck sure that I knew what the hell was going on. Thankfully, I paid attention and listened to her, because it's brought me down a big fucking whirlwind. And since I have been learning about human behavior and psychology and whatnot on a professional, like student level, as well as just an experience level, which I feel as though has propelled me a lot in the psychology realm of learning things, not at the top, but I'm saying in my own experience, like my own experiences itself, regardless of school, have really, really made me understand the difficulties and the positive things from mental health and the brain stimulation in general. It has really taught me a lot of things, especially with the forensic psychology dynamic. Sometimes I sit here and I wonder, like, when I am talking to a criminal, someone who's committed a very heinous act or done whatever type of crime, how will I compose myself? Because typically I can deal with the anger, getting yelled at, high stress situations and whatnot. But what about the people who, for some rhyme or reason, really trigger me in different ways? And ironically, with one of the classes that I'm taking this semester for forensic psychology, we have to read testifying in court. And I spoke about this on my TikTok and my Instagram. I posted the video on there. This shit is motherfucking good. And it's all about how, as a forensic psychologist, how you keep your composure in angry situations and like high stress, empathetic situations in the courtroom, because of mostly attorneys. Like, attorneys are cutthroat, dude. And it just this book and reading Robert Greene's books on human behavior and the 48 laws of power and whatnot, it makes me go back to like what I was saying with my experiences, realize how mentally strong I am in some ways and then not mentally strong in other ways. And I think that brings out the ugliness in people when I get around them. And the reason why I say that is because I feel as though genuinely, even though people can be in their worst fucking moment and like weak to themselves, that it's an energy that you put out that regardless if you're going through shit, like you haven't given up on yourself in different ways. Like you always come out, maybe not on top, but you always come out of it regardless. And I feel like collectively what I'm trying to say is that the more that you learn about human behavior and mental health and different things like that, the more mentally strong you will be as a human being, as a spouse, as a father, mother, sister, daughter, like whatever it may be. And resonating with this book, Testifying in Court, just makes me excited to become a forensic psychologist and to be like that bad bitch in the fucking courtroom that's like, you're not fucking around with me. I'm not the one. And that's how I genuinely feel with this podcast and with my schooling and social media, all of that in general. I feel as though I have this like burning desire in me because I'm not scared to say shit and because I have such a fucking backbone with if I want something, I'm going to get it. And I feel as though now I've been really working on my words in order to reiterate that to you guys, because before I've been like rambunctious and not know what I'm saying, and I go into every single podcast not really knowing what I'm saying. But I feel like I'm getting better of on the fly reiterating what I want to teach you guys about maybe a different side of life that you haven't seen, or maybe a different side of life that you haven't heard about, or maybe different life lessons that you haven't been taught yet. There's a lot of ways to learn from people, even if you don't agree with them, even if you don't see them, like it's social media and it's just in passing or something. Like you can learn so much from so many different people, everyone, really, good and bad. And that's another thing I wanted to speak on, because going back to reading people and people kind of being like, how the hell did you pick up on that? My mom growing up was so like, she's still very much philosophical and like watches the living fuck out of everyone and will tell you about someone. It's like when you are growing up and your mom's like, about that friend. And you're like, no, mom. And your mom's like, like I can fucking sniff that from forever away. And then the friend ends up being not a good friend. Like when you're in like kindergarten or high school or whatever. She is still very much like that, but it's not even just in that scenario. Like it's like in a lot of scenarios. And I always used to resist that urge of looking at someone more so because I just thought that everyone was being negative. I was like, oh my God, everyone's so negative. Like everyone's mostly a good person. And then I started getting older and I started paying attention to things more. And I started realizing, yeah, that is not true. Like I still want to believe that people in general are really good people, but you gotta fucking watch people. And Robert Greene does an amazing job throughout his literature of explaining why you should watch what people do, what process they're pretty much in, like meaning are they in the beginning stages of manipulation? Are they in the late stages? Are they narcissistic? Are they just an asshole? Are they trustworthy? There's a lot of different things that you can pick up on from somebody. You can figure out straight up if somebody don't like you in the moment of meeting them, even if they're like, hey, there's body language, there's the nonverbal things that you can, like the cues. And I'm not really one that when I'm sitting with someone or like meeting someone for the first time necessarily watching their body movements, because I feel like on a biometric, I guess, level, you could say, for lack of a better term, that it's innate in humans to automatically know, like, hey, there's something going on here that I don't like, whether you agree that it's on a vibrational, energetic level, or, like I said, like the essentially gut feelings, which I think kind of goes hand in hand. But so I don't really pay attention to that, because your body's going to tell you anyway, like your gut. I also pay attention to people's words and their actions, because if it doesn't align with one another, then it's like, no, there's something going on there. Whether you are you're lacking discipline in something to look at yourself inward to correct an issue, or you don't give a fuck. Like, it's one or the other. And everybody, when they do something, I don't know why this sounds weird. Hello. Sounds like kind of muffled, so hopefully it's good this episode. If people's actions don't align with their words, then, like I said, there's something going on, whether positive or negative, but you just really have to pay attention to people's actions. For fucking years, I was a person that was like, well, they said this, they said that, and I believed it, and unfortunately, you just can't. Everybody has to show you through their actions, and that's just what my belief is. You can do your own thing and believe in your own thing, but for me personally, listening to people is the best way to understand who a person is. They might not show you in the first month, they might not show you in the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh month. They're going to show you at some point. Something will click within yourself. If you're truly listening to someone, you'll always catch. One of the best things that you can learn about somebody is to listen to them and to hear what they're saying to you, and what they're saying about other people, and what they're saying about their job, and what they're saying about their life. And if they're talking at all, just listen to people, because you can really start to tell who really good people are and who really not so good people are, or what lessons people still have to learn. I look at everything as a vibrational level. So like I'm still growing up, but when I have not learned a life lesson yet, and I know I'm still acting inappropriately in some manner, like in behavior, like let's say if I get pissed off at something and I cuss, I shouldn't be doing that. I know that's wrong. And then I stop cussing like that, because I used to cuss a lot. And now when I hear other people who are cussing like how I used to, I think like, oh God, like that's how I was. That's so embarrassing. And I understand now that I'm on a different vibrational level, and those people are on that vibrational level that I was just on, and they haven't moved forward yet, whether they choose to or not. But that's just an example. Like, it doesn't always have to be about cussing, but it's just how I look at life. People sometimes look at life as like chapters, and I guess I kind of look at it like that too. But lately I've just been looking at everything very spiritually, and I absolutely love it. I love how close I've gotten with universe and learning more about things. Like I've been getting into Greek mythology, and I'm just now starting to kind of learn about Hecate. So if anybody knows about her, let me know more, because I'm on the slippery slope of going downward, learning everything about her, but I haven't gone down super, super far. I've been really busy reading this damn testifying in court book. I'm telling you, that shit is good. I also want to take a second and talk about Doechii, because I think it was like since 2012, she'd been talking about when she was like 14 years old. She's like, I will be famous. I will be this. I will be that. And I just want to concur with this and say, I am a very successful podcaster. I am a very successful YouTuber. I am a very successful content creator. And 2025 was the best year of my life, because 2024 was on the downhill, and then I learned a lot. So I don't regret anything, but 2025 is going to be my year. 2025 is my come up, and I can't wait to tell you guys all about it. I can't wait to tell all y'all about it. And I can't wait to hear about y'all's too, because it really seems like people for 2025 have this new look at life that I've been really hoping that people would, which is manifesting and spiritualism in the way of consciousness. I'm not talking about like just like, do you believe in God? Do you believe in religion this, religion that? My main focus is consciousness. And going into that as well, sometimes I still get weary about me even speaking about this because of my degree that I'm going for, forensic psychology, and then my doctorate. And I know that people are going to see this. And I do get nervous, honestly, that some doctors are going to be like, you say you're a psychic and you are obsessed with this consciousness stuff. And what the fuck have you put on the internet that you're not credible? It is a legitimate fear of mine, but at the same time, I feel so drawn to talk about consciousness, psychicness, forensic psychology, the way the brain works and the dark sides of it and how it can twist and turn. And just like I said, like I've gone through so much fucking shit, which everybody has, that it has forced me to look at the way that people act and I can pick up on it. Lickety split now. Have I been duped? Hell yeah, everyone's been duped. But you learn from it. And the shit that I've learned, I feel like an overwhelming sense of I have to do this. And plus, when I start something, I will never stop. So I already started this. I will never, ever, ever stop this because now I have something to prove. And that's the big thing that people, I guess, don't recognize with me unless you really know me, is that people doubt me, and I'm the wrong fucking person to doubt. I love when people doubt me. I love when people shit on me. I love when people say, you can't fucking do this, you can't fucking do that. Because it's haters and it's people who don't fucking know better. And the best thing that I can do is to be successful and to show these fucking people that you can do it. It's not even about me. It's to prove a fucking point that you can do this. You can do whatever you want in this life. You can manifest everything you want and fucking work towards it and do it. I have never, ever had a job other than failing the FBI test the first time. I have never failed a class. Well, that's a lie. I also failed pre-algebra freshman year. But I've never failed really at anything else. I've always strived to be the top dog at every single job that I've had successfully. I've done so. School as well. My associates was rough as fuck, but my bachelor's I graduated with a 4.0 and was in the military and was working like a shitload of hours. Still got a 4.0. I plan on doing the same thing with my master's, and I think that that's something that intimidates people. And I also think that it's something that people look at and they're like, why the fuck do you care so much? Who cares if you get blah, blah, blah? That's awesome if you don't care. But I truly feel like there's people who strive in different areas of life in order to show people who care about those areas of life that, hey, you can fucking do this. Like mine is advocacy, women's rights, forensic psychology, just mental health advocacy overall, right? I'm really for the people. I'm really for helping people. I love to advocate. I love to volunteer, help people, whatever it may be. And then you have people like David Goggins. He runs his ass off till his shins and knees are shattered. Who wants to do that? Who wants to do that? But people who do want to do that, he has pushed the limits. He has shown we can do this. If I can fucking do it, you can fucking do it. And I think one of the biggest things that I will respect about men like him is that they have the fucking dog in them. And they show people and they don't quit and they don't stop and they don't give a fuck. And I love that. I thrive on that shit. Like, I think that's really honestly what gets me going. And I think the reason why it almost fuels me to have haters is because I fucking love it. And I don't even know if I have any more haters. But guess what? I be creating them in my head. I be fucking creating them in my head. And sometimes I'm like, damn. Like texting one of my friends, damn, I don't think anybody fucking likes me. And then she's telling me like, yeah, they probably don't. but you're a fucking strong ass person. Like, she single-handedly, like, tells me, like, you're a fucking hard person to get along with sometimes when I'm in work mode. Thankfully I'm not as in work mode as I was before. Like, I'm still a fucking dog, but I have way more balance to me. But a lot of people can't handle it. I'm like a female body with a man brain / woman brain, which I feel like is fucking deadly. Like, having the mentality of a man and being able to keep up with that, and then / the empathy part for the womanhood. I won't fucking quit. Like, that's all it goes into, is I will not quit this fucking social media shit. I've had moments when I've been like, damn, you know, when is my stuff gonna come in, like my manifestations, and I start getting on myself, and, you know, everyone has their moments. It's their old self coming through of what the fuck am I doing? You know, like, one day I woke up and I was just 28 at my parents' home because of what happened, and I have cameras in my face and I have all this shit, and it's like, I dreamt about this shit. Like, I've literally dreamt about this shit of wanting to do this. I did this in Japan. It's just crazy to finally see things coming to fruition. And I just am so fucking excited for 2025, y'all. Everything is going to get so much better than it already is in 2025. And I'm going to be able to meet so many people and talk and do so many things. And you should be looking at your life like that too. Even if you don't have anything right now and you're working towards it, the fact that you're having this drive to even be better than what you were yesterday, or maybe you're super fucking depressed and you're still driven to somehow, some way stay on this earth, you're fucking doing it. You're fucking doing it. Like, it is a hard struggle. I get it. It is a fucking hard struggle when you are depressed, and every second feels like a lifetime. But I am proof. Dude, this same bed that I am sitting in right now is the same bed that I laid in. I cried. I fucking made plans for. I sat and did therapy for. I fucking did not leave this room for days, weeks, months. And to think I'm sitting here now, window open, sun shining in. I got my fancy lights that I'm so excited about. I got my fancy camera that I manifested and wanted so fucking bad for this podcast. I have my computer. I have this book because I'm going to school for what I also manifested, forensic psychology. I think about all this stuff that I'm grateful for, and then that's what redirects me from being like insecure of, is a doctor going to tell me I can't do this? Because no, I'm doing this for a reason. I have the confidence to do this for a reason. It wasn't always there. I had to earn it. I had to earn it from universe by learning things throughout my whole fucking life. And people you gotta listen, dude. If you're going through something, like I said, I have the fucking itchiest thigh right now. So sorry. If you're going through something right now, or maybe someone called you a bitch, or maybe you're fat right now and someone called you fucking fat, or maybe you're lazy as shit, or maybe I don't fucking know. Somebody called you on something, you're finally realizing it. Take it, learn the positive from it. Okay, like, let's say someone came up to me right now, because I did gain 80 pounds this fucking year from the depression. If someone came up to me right now and said, hey, you're fat, it's fucking rude to do that. But what do I say back? Because I am fucking fat. What do you say back to that? I already took accountability for myself of knowing, yeah, you gained fucking weight this year, bitch. But I don't judge anyone else on that. I judge not even myself, because I needed the time to not give a fuck about something, aka my weight and my eating disorder, to get through a whole different mental battle. Now that I'm done with that battle, my mental battle, I like my body. Am I still gonna fucking get the tatas done and get my stomach done? Hell yes. Absolutely. And I don't care. I will admit that I am doing that. When that time comes from losing all this weight. But I don't hate myself. And no one can hurt me by coming up and saying you're fat if I've already understood that, yes, I have gained weight. I am fat. That doesn't mean that what they said is right, because they have to learn a lesson of boundaries and look inward on themselves, because someone who wasn't really judging would never fucking say anything anyway. And even if people are judging without saying anything, they give a fuck. You understand what I'm saying? Like, a true person who truly does not give a fuck about something doesn't talk about it. And I've been on fucking social media talking about shit before, referencing different shit because it's happening in my, so that's kind of the hard thing of like doing the content stuff now, is when something happens in my life, I tell you guys about it in like a nonchalant kind of just boop kind of way, but I bring it on because it's an emotion I'm going through, and it's like I'm telling people at the same time something that I'm learning from universe, you know? And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because how else are you supposed to spread information across a vast majority of people other than giving hyperboles and telling people different life lessons that you've learned? Because life lessons get sent down for generations and stuff. And I'm not saying, oh, Caitlyn, your life lesson, but my life lesson, especially for this year, is to watch people. Don't listen to the words. I mean, yes, I've been preaching that, but the words have to align with the actions. If they don't match, it's not a fucking match in whatever regard, whether that be relationship or friendship or whatever. Like, it doesn't even have to mean you have to cut someone off. It just means that maybe I don't trust them. Maybe you got to categorize people. And to me personally, I categorize, like, because I'm so obsessed with my mental health now and my positivity, like radiation, my frequency. I'm on a high frequency right now. I do not need to be dragged down to a lower frequency. Like, I do not want any part of that. And so if you're close in my life, it's because I genuinely trust you. If I don't trust you, I don't fucking talk to you. Like, I don't hate you or anything, like literally to anyone, but I feel like other people should be doing that too. You should keep close people to you in order to learn different things from life, because you have a support system. If you have people in your circle who are not good for you and who just don't want the best for you and whatnot, you're still going to learn life lessons, because everyone's done it. Everyone's had a bad friend. Everyone's had a bad family member. Everyone's had a bad, negative, nasty coworker, but you still learn something from them, right? And I try to do that with everyone. Like, even when I was in Japan, I was fighting with a shitload of people, and it was always about work shit and whatnot. And I could never understand fully why. And I know it's because I took my job, like, maybe sometimes too seriously. I don't fucking know. My work ethic was just on a different level, but I was still really kind to people at the same time. So it was always women I was fighting with. But I learned from those women that I did not care for in there. And I wondered, what are they doing that's good? And what are they doing that I don't fucking like? Like, what is it that I don't like that they do? And do I do the same thing? Like, I am very, very always analyzing the living fuck out of someone, to include myself. If you sat here right now and told me, what's your biggest weakness? I would say the weaknesses that I just cleaned up was that I fucking run my mouth. Like, I tell people who are close in my life a shitload of stuff. Like, I was definitely offloading on people. I don't do that anymore, which is good. I've learned my lesson from that. And probably another one would be that I used to be a very angry person, and I am no longer like that. I'm actually really able to, like, sit in the moment now and be like, okay, like, let's talk about this. And I used to be like that as well. But when you would piss me off, like, it was on a whole nother level. It would be like here, and then I was getting ready to just explode. And when I would explode, it was like, why would you explode? You know, there's no need for that. And I don't do that anymore. Very rarely even get angry. I get, like, irritated now, but I've really learned to, like, go inward and learn and, like, If someone's pissing me off, I'm choosing to let them be pissed off or make me pissed off. And what am I learning from it? Because obviously I still don't have patience. And sometimes when I do get irritated, I have to look at universe and the lesson in there and be like, hey, this person doesn't fucking know. Like, even if someone knows that they're wrong, but they're like diverting you from it, let's say, it pisses me the fuck off because it's like, dude, just admit it. Like, you already know it's wrong. Just fucking admit it so we can talk about it. But then I have to pull myself back and realize they don't have the gall to admit something because they don't respect themselves enough. They don't trust themselves enough. Like, it's all an inward game. And then it makes me look at someone and I'm like, okay, I feel bad for you because you're insecure. And that's not a negative connotation for really anyone. Like, even the people I'm not too fond of, because I've been there too. Everyone's been there. Everyone's had it. And how could I be pissed off at somebody if I was at some point and still am in different ways, but not really anymore, insecure? Like, I can get fucking irritated all I want now, but I need to take that inward and just breathe it out. They don't fucking know. Hopefully someday they learn. Maybe someday they won't. You know, that's all on them. Everything is a karmic cycle. If they're supposed to know, they will. If they don't, you know, you can't interfere with people's lives anymore, which I also have learned because I was always a fixer-upper. I was always the friend that's like, call me if you need anything. And I just really have learned to not do that as much. Like, still be there for your friends, but like, you can't fix everyone's problems. Really, that's it. You can't fix everyone's problems. I was always trying to do that. And now I realize, like, if you do that, you're fucking up people's karmic lessons, or you're fucking up the path for universe to allow them to exercise their own free will, like their choices. Like, every choice you make leads you down a path. And if you come in and you're trying to be Bob the Builder, you're fucking up everything. That's not their true thought. That's not their true answer. You know, you influence that. And whether you were supposed to influence that or not in the timeline, who's to say? Like, these are the conversations that I like, because it's so intricate the way that life is. And I feel like people just go every single day, they make choices and they're like, yeah, whatever. Every single choice matters, dude. Every choice matters. Like, even if you open up this book left or right handed, it matters, because I normally write with my right hand, but my left hand I can still work. And then what if fucking years from now or something, it's like, oh, because I use my left hand a lot, I can move it more when I'm old. Or, which that was the weirdest explanation ever, but you get what I'm trying to say. Everything has a chain reaction, and one decision that you make in 2024, that you made in 2024, could now affect you in 2025. We just gotta think more about life itself and the questions and the answers that we give and what direction we're gonna go. And you don't even have to fucking know shit, but the biggest thing you gotta know is just be authentic. Be you. Figure out where you want to go in life. When you do that by being authentic, it starts leading you down this path, and you might even not know where the fuck you're going, because that's kind of how I was. Like, in my depression, I don't even remember the first day of me picking up. No, I do remember the first day. I was living in Virginia and I was super fucking depressed in my apartment. And I don't know, I think I had already gotten the letter saying like, hey, we're not going to give you a therapist and we actually got to take money from you. And I was like, cool. That's when I picked up a camera. I just remember an overwhelming, like, that day of, hey, you've tried making content before and you failed like 2 or 3 times. You need to do this again. And I was like, fuck it. I mean, my life was already going to shit. So like, what else could I lose? So I pick up my phone, and I think the first thing that I videotaped was Tiffany in the back seat. I don't know. We'll have to find it someday when it pops up on like on this day if TikTok doesn't go away. But I'm so happy I did that. I don't like the way that this mic sounds right now either. I'm really sorry if it sounds like shit. I'm really happy that I ended up doing that because it changed the trajectory of my life. Like, when I was in Florida and I had already started this social media stuff, I went to a psychic, and the psychic was like, dude, you are going to have a really good year. And this was in like November, December of 23. And she's like, you're going to have a really good new year. It's going to be really good. And then you are... My mic died. My microphone died, so I can't continue the pod, but I really appreciate you guys showing up for episode 5 of Dark Diaries. And I just want to let you guys know that I'm very grateful that you guys listen in every single week and that we're really growing Dark Diaries little by little. I love you guys, and I'll catch you next week. Bye.